Hola. What up, though? We gonna see what Spirit has to say. That's what I'm doing right now. We gonna see what the message is right now. So, whatever comes, and if you're here, you're meant to be here. If you're triggered and you're unprepared to shift, you're still meant to be here, but a part of you is fighting you. So, you're fighting yourself. Love you though. Stop fighting yourself. This ain't the age you want to be fighting yourself. Mind you, she looks like this because I was at the beach and she was in salt. So this is all salt right here. She's usually back here though. That's where she's usually at. Right there. Yeah. Feel me? Welcome, my loves. Thank you, baby. I decided to do something different to this head of mine. I was like, yeah, I'm going to the beach. We going to do a little shum shum. So this was a little shum shum that we did. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, my loves. We are about to get into your messages. This is a collective message, obviously. So this is a message for all. So hear me out. Once I start getting into the messages, that's my higher self, which is my physical self. But I step more into that when I have to deliver these messages. When I'm in this physical 3D realm, I can easily boop boop go from back and forth into it. Mermaid vibes. Yes. Yes. Okay. BB knowing. BB knowing. That's a gem right there though. That's the polar opposite to the side. So you would know. You know what I'm thinking, damn it. You know what I'm thinking. Love you. Now, let's get into these messages. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of Mama Universe and Papa Universe. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of my angels, spirit guides, ancestors. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of the gods and goddesses that flow through me as me, inclusive me. So we can all use our mind's eye to see. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Always in connection to the Most High. So I'm not even gonna talk. I'm just gonna relay the message. I ain't got shit to say. I do. I always got something to say actually. But let me see. Let me see. What is oh, the fourth house came out? The fourth house came out. Your home and the roots of your being. The home and the roots of your being. Let's see what else is coming up. But this is what Spirit wants to talk to you at this moment. What Source wants to speak to you about. Your home and the roots of your being. Now let me see. All of the outer planets are retrograde. There's that. So you and those around you are all in this space to have to go within. Anyone that's fighting that energy, you'll be more in a combative state with that frequency because that's not what the outer planets are doing. Simple as that. It's like going against the tides. Simply simple. Going against the tides. You got Libra and Neptune coming out. Neptune and Libra. Let me see what this is talking about here. Let me see what year that falls into. Neptune in Libra is 1942 to 1957. So some of your parents. This got something to do with your parents. And we just approached this new moon in Virgo. Okay. So here's what I'm going to tell you. If you've been following this channel, you're going to know exactly what to do when it comes to those who were the host of bringing you into this world. You're going to have more forgiveness than there is issues when it comes to the way you were raised. Simple as that. If you've been following this channel long enough, you're going to know what the solutions are versus the problems. Because if you're still focusing on the problems, you have yet to come to a space where you're centered to now focus on the solution. Okay, because you could easily 555 on the timer. You could easily be picking up on memories that are not yours. And because they're not yours, it's going to make it a little bit more of a challenge to identify where this issue is coming from. Until you realize that you are a reincarnation of both your mother and your father in the most respectful way ever. Because there's a way to go about that where you now have hatred towards that. Because there's things that you're seeing and that they weren't prepared to see or don't even want to see and swept under the rug. But that's not one of your options. Your option is to find, your one and only option is to find a solution. Fourth house, Neptune in Libra, which states the following. Neptune in the romantic sign of Libra, so some of you may have a Pluto in Libra as well, if you're tapping into this message, emphasizes idealism and love. Those born with Neptune transited Libra have been called the love generation. This is between 1942 and 1957. Now, they are the love generation, but weren't fully shown what love looks like. Their perception of love may be more so on the spectrum of something that is completely the opposite. But to them, it's love, because that's all they know and all they choose to know with their free will. We all got free will to change whatever it is we're experiencing. Like that. You know? So Neptune Librans seek harmony and balance and are deeply bothered by injustice in the world. See, they may have encountered a lot of what their parents have as far as their Neptune transit when they were born. And you picked up on their energy of the Neptune in Libra. Seeking harmony and balance in an injustice world. So let's continue. Many of the people who were born during the early years of Neptune's journey through Libra became active in the anti-war movement of the 1960s. Neptune Librans strongly believe in the concepts of brotherly love and resistance to iniquity. While Neptune transited the sign of peace, the United Nations was founded. Interesting. Interest is different from commitment. Interesting. Libra is also the sign of partnership and marriage. This era brought a new questioning of the values of marriage, with the resultant rise in divorce and search for happiness and love. On a personal level, Neptune is in this position produces a magnetic attraction to the opposite sex, and at times a lack of willpower and determination. Now, okay, so this is giving me the vibes of a lot of you who got Pluto in the fourth. Because if the very last line says on a personal level, Neptune in this position produces a magnetic attraction to the opposite sex and at times a lack of willpower and determination, that means in this age of Aquarius, you experience the most challenges because the polar opposite to Aquarius is Leo, which has a lot to do with I will. So a lot of the struggles come from what you are embedded with the will to do, but you are not doing. I'm gonna just keep it simple as that. I'm not even gonna sit here and preach to you. You got Sagittarius at the bottom of the deck, though. And you got these two cards that I picked up, Mars in the third house. So you got to be careful with arguments, especially with siblings or cousins, because y'all all more than likely share the same exact energy where there was a lack of willpower and determination as it relates to Neptune and Libra. Welcome, my love. Okay. Because you got the fourth house out here. So when we see any of these houses, this has to do with the area of your life, and the area of your life is reflecting your home and the roots of your being, the roots of you being, the roots of you being. This is speaking of times of lack and willpower. Let's see what this is talking about really exactly. What is this exactly for the collective here? Because the fact that these planets, outer planets, are retrograde. Let's see what this is talking about so you can handle it. And if it's something to be handled beyond just you, handle what you can control and leave the rest to whomever is supposed to handle what they're supposed to handle. So you're not sitting there in a space where you're like, unnecessarily putting yourself out of alignment with yourself. Okay. So let's see here. This is something to do with the mother energy, the yin. First card out was the fourth house, which is Cancerian energy. And now we got the yin coming out first too. So let's see what this is talking about here. Never ending story. What's this never ending story about? Could it have something to do with the lack of willpower and determination? Because with the lack of willpower, this entire world is controlling you. There's nothing of yourself that is in control of yourself. So that's really something you really want to look at now. Okay. I like this stuff. I like this message coming through here. A new life. That's what I like to see. This is what I like to see. I love to see it. 2, 37, 39. Those numbers could be significant. Some of you at the age of 2, you recognize this. 37 and 39 of those years, those two pivotal years, similar to the Page of Swords, where you're realizing what it is that you have to detach from, for there to be a different cycle as to what it is that's going on around you. Okay. But look at this. A moment without vitality, stepping right into it. But it looks like some of you, all you got to do is really take a nap. So I'm getting this energy also where some of you are overworking yourself and you got to rest and chill for a little bit. Give yourself a goddess moment. And I say goddess moment in terms of a spiritual bath. Whatever you consider to be spiritual, whatever it is that brings life back into your body, take that type of bath. Simple as that. And speaking of mermaid vibes, so I was testing out the waves, right? The waves were pretty intense. I said, okay. But what I did was I became just like the water to test out what that intensity was. And it showed me that when I was in this space of what I consider Mama Universe taking control back over, taking control over what she has created for it to be back on track. The strongest wave literally passed right through me and it wouldn't knock me down. But the moment I submitted myself to it, it would knock me down. I said, okay. I said, okay. So that basically just told me two words: original beings. For me, what does that mean? And for those of you that connect to me, this is a part of your subconscious that's just speaking to you. Original beings, those who know their control, or what it is that they resonate with, to be in alignment with air, water, earth, and fire. Okay. So as I'm looking at these energies, all of those elements are in this realm of nature, which we call the feminine space. Again, is the first card out. The fourth house, which also connects to the feminine energy, is also out. Fourth house speaks of your ancestors. A lot of you who are connected to this message right now, your ancestors knew up and down, in and out, the means of unconditional love. And as I'm saying this to you now, I'm seeing the image of the elders card, which is saying move beyond ancestral patterns, because they knew what it was, but some of them weren't able to experience it to the full extent because they weren't around others who knew what it was. It basically seemed like the beginning of the end of today. Put it that way. They were in the beginning of the end of today. So a lot of what is coming to the surface for you and a lot of things that you can handle is because you've been there, done that through a reincarnation or a past reincarnation. Whether if it was your mother, your grandmother, your great grandmother, your great great, your great 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 great, whatever. Okay. You are reincarnation of both sides. So if you are a reincarnation of both sides, there's obviously memories within your emotions, the water flowing within you, that remembers plenty of the past. Now, I'm not speaking of the past for you to go there and be stuck there. That's obviously never any of the things that I'm doing when it speaks of the past, is to let you know, go back to your past to see which part of your soul you need to bring back into this lifetime, because you left it behind and it's just too far back there. It's like you were in the race and you got lapped. It's like you're not even running the same race. However, that's just an analogy for the sport itself, but you're not in a race when it comes to your own life. You're on your own journey. But if you're going to be on your own journey, that means you have to know what has happened or what your spirit, your soul has encountered before you even got here. I'm not speaking of you being in a physical body as a human being. Some of you don't have past lives as a human being. So don't let that ignorance get you, because it'll get you real quick. It'll have you experiencing things to wake your ass up, that when you tell somebody about your story, they're feeling sorry for you. I'm not doing that over here. Okay? So, 333, I say. So this never ending story that we've been experiencing, it's time for us to come to this space of a new life. It's time to wake up out of it. Now, the awakening, it's another download that was coming through. The awakening. The awakening is more so you realizing that your dream state is the reality. See, most people like to say, oh, I don't dream. You just don't remember. You too disconnected from yourself to even remember that you are dreaming. Because every night you go to bed, you go into a different world. And there's a lot of text that's telling you that that shit is normal. You just got God. Simple as that. Because if you have no control over your dream state, you have no control of your awakening state. The state that you're in right now to watch this video. Now, there's some who are watching this while they're asleep, because some people are asleep right now, dreaming and watching me right now. That when they come on here, they're going to comment, this is deja vu. Yeah, because you saw me before you was actually into this illusion. That's how that works. We've learned to complicate things and we've learned to die. I said, I don't know what the message was going to be. I said I was going to let spirit talking, spirit talking. Here's another message. If you're going to book a personal reading with me, make sure you read that email to the fullest, because your response depends on whether or not I respond to you ever again. Because too many of you carry an attachment spirit, an audacious spirit, being here too long to be saying you playing. Moving on. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let's see what's this? The moon. The only thing I'm hearing about the moon right now is that everyone who attempted trying, which is an insult to doing, to get to the moon, you were never welcome there. Now, as far as astrology goes, the moon has to do with your emotions connected to memories. Most people, one, aren't able to connect to their memories in the way that they can find solutions. And when it comes to emotions connected to those memories, oh shit now. If the energies on the moon have a control over those experiences, if we had to speak of it that way, how many people you think from this planet is actually going to be accepted up there? It's the same way I move with my readings. If you don't read that whole shit that I sent to you and you respond in a way that I know you didn't read the whole thing, because I can tell by your response, there's a lot of things y'all doing out here that y'all don't even need to be doing. Moving on. Pisces comes out. See these two fishes? One is of sorrow, the other one is of power. Now, power. Let's speak about power a little bit. Power and force are two different things. Power has a lot to do with power has a lot to do with what you're able to do. Force is more so pushing someone to do something that they may not even have the power to do. Or if they do have the power to do so, they're not prepared to do it. It's a force. You're making them do it. Okay, so Pisces comes out here. I want to see why this is coming out though. Moon in Pisces. Well, the next full moon is going to be in Pisces, and we just had Neptune in Libra, which speaks of. Let me go again here. Produces a magnetic attraction to the opposite sex, and at times a lack of willpower and determination. Neptune in Libra, 1942 to 1957. Anti-war movement. See, with seeing the Neptune and Libra vibes, this is connecting to most of you who know that you are your grandparent's child. Your parents are your great-grandparents' child or children, but you are your grandparents' child. So if you are your grandparents' child and your parent and grandparents didn't have the connection that you feel would be something that is balanced, there's obviously going to be certain things that you would have to balance out. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing right with that either. It's just cause and effect. It's just cause and effect. What are we going to do to get to where we want to go? And what are we not going to do to not get to where we want to go? This Page of Cups keeps coming out. Let me do a Celtic spread here to see what's going on with this energy over here. Ten of Wands comes out first. What is the challenge here of releasing these burdens? It came out sideways too. The Five of Pentacles, being left out in the cold. This comes a lot. This has a lot to do with communication with the mother. There's a lot of things that you wish you could say to your mother that you're not saying or you can't say because she's not here. Don't let yourself go into, when I say she's not here, because she might have transitioned, but don't let that get to your head. 441 on the timer. Don't let that get to your head because they're literally down here talking to you. Okay? So, what's at the base of this? King of Pentacles, Taurus energies are 2 Taurus cards. So, this is a court card, 442. For some of you, this could even be a father who played both roles. I just heard that shit went in and out. Never mind. The Hierophant. Ugh. The son of the universe is what I'm hearing. That's what I heard before too, but it's like, just, you can say it that way. The son of the universe. The son of the universe. Okay. So some of you have a path that you know that has to do with unconditional love. People around you know this also, but they're choosing to be ignorant. You need to determine what you do thereafter. Some of you let that shit get to you. If you let it get to you, you become like them. That's a test that they can't even experience. But you can endure it and overcome. Okay. Some of you have to do things that, in order for a person to say 444 right now, in order for a person to say that they support you, that means a part of themselves have to change. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? A lot of you are granted a gift, the luxury to live a particular lifestyle that causes people to change, and you're wanting people who are not willing to change to be around you. Or these could be the people that make you feel some type of way that is not a positive vibration. I get it. You want to help people. I get it. But if all these ascended masters helped everyone they wanted to help, do you think we will even know their story? Now, that's speaking from a 3-dimensional world. Speaking from 90 and above, you was going to know the story regardless. I'm going to just let you know that shit right now. You're just going to know regardless. Some would have known about the story the hard way, where they had to experience something catastrophic to be like, wait, there's got to be something different. If you chose to even go that far to even feel like there's something different. Because some people take themselves out from that point. This is why this channel ain't for everybody and why I don't read for everybody. And this is why I say read the email accordingly when you're booking a reading. Because I can tell a lot about your spirit the way you respond to the next email. After the first email, I can tell a lot about you. So let's see what's crowning this reading here. 3 cards came out. The 7 of Pentacles, Saturn and Taurus. The 4 of Pentacles, this would be the Sun in Capricorn. And you have Leo energy. The King of Wands. Now, there's some serious manifestation going on here. You see this King of Wands, right? This, what I'm seeing this as, this is you. Based off of what I just said right now, because this will be 11, right? Bringing balance to the situation, which means judgment. Now, that everybody has a different definition to what judgment is. This is why you got to be careful with certain oracle card decks that you get. It's real easy for you to change the way you believe about something based on what an oracle deck or tarot decks are telling you about what the cards mean. You better listen to what your soul got to say. That's why I love getting numerous decks. Like, oh, you wanted them too, huh? Okay, I got you. I'm gonna switch your whole shit up and I'm gonna use the fuck out of you. Because you one of those that's here to enslave the minds of people. So I'm gonna switch it up using your shit. I come from Mars, boo. Come from Mars, I come from a lot of different places. Okay? Plenty of places. I don't just come from planets. That's another thing. This is why I speak so much on unconditional love. So with this King of Wands and this 4 of Pentacles crowning your reading, you're balancing a lot that has been materialized in your life. And that's Uranus in retrograde, where it's basically making you go within about what it is that you have internalized about the enlightenment you've received from the world outside of you. Does it match what you came here to do? Because if it didn't, you're going to feel it in your body, because Uranus is in Taurus, which has a lot to do with your senses, the wisdom of your body, self-worth too. Because these are both Taurus cards. Some people will consider this the Virgo card because it is speaking of a high priest. Now, if I'm looking at this reminds me, no joke, of the Washington Monument. I ain't gonna play around with y'all. This card, just thinking of it being a Virgo card, this would get me to the point of the Washington Monument. Just look up the height of the monument and you'll see what I'm talking about. I don't feel like getting into that right here. Let's see what's in your immediate future. This way is receiving enlightenment. This way could be a great thing or something that's going to plummet you into a world of darkness without light because you don't know you have it. In your immediate future, you have the Hangman upright. You see the enlightenment, right? I don't care what complexion he is, because some of you who are my complexion, you move like the demons in these bodies. So I don't got time for that shit over here. That's not what I do over here. I read your energy. I don't care what you look like. That shit don't mean nothing to me. Because a lot of you don't know who you are. Maybe we got the ice cream truck. Meant to slavery. It's getting louder too. Mm-hmm. when you're getting to know who you are, a lot of the truths are going to piss you off. Some people get stuck there though. And this gets passed on from generation to generation to generation. Well, the shit it starts to sound sweet. The pain starts to sound sweet. You can no longer smell the stench because you've been in there long enough. So now you get accustomed to it. This is what I'm saying. This coming out in the immediate future. Oh, Spirit is talking to your ass today because your first card is the Ten of Wands. This is the choice also that has to be made here because this is a Saturn energy in the sign of Sagittarius. You better have control over your dream state to drop all of these burdens because you're not going to just do it in this waking state. That's what I'm seeing this here other Saturn card in the sign of Taurus, Earth sign. What this figure is looking at is like, yeah, I have all of this that has grown from what I've planted, but something about this one. This is why I posted earlier when I say I'm living a dream, it ain't got shit to do with it. It has not one thing to do with human materialism. Not one thing. Because I can decide to go back to a dream state whenever I want to. Because I know that. Some of you know that too. But I'm also getting this vibe of you got to move a certain way because people around you ain't on that type of art. Instead of calling it time, is people around you not on that type of art? Because time is art. Time is an illusion. It's just art. It's precious. Yes, it is. You can make it as long or as short you want it to be. I don't care what they taught you before you listen to this video either. They ain't got shit to do with me. It's not what I'm here for. I don't care about what you hear after this or before this. You hear right now. Because for all you know, what you're hearing right now happened before and after. That's why you're here. See? There's a beautiful thing about these algorithms too. Go where the beat makes you dance. I'll go towards the rhythm. Go towards the rhythm that makes you dance. Or you can go towards the rhythm that makes you sad. It's up to you. What you choose to be around. There's a lot that those waves showed me the other day. I was chilling with the waves during the new moon in Virgo at that. I have a moon in Virgo, by the way. Yes, shout out to my moon in Virgos, Pisces, yes, sun in Virgos, rising Virgos. I feel you. I hear you. I know you. I see you. I love you. Because that's a different type of energy now. It's right in the middle. Right in the middle. I said, nah. That's why y'all didn't see me go live on the day of the new moon in Virgo. I was like, That's another thing. If you on social media, don't feel pressure to do things because you know it's a certain that's still connected to time, or the moon could be somewhere else. I mean, in Vedic is somewhere else. I'm just saying. Like in Vedic astrology, it's a new moon in Leo. So we can make time whatever we want it to be. I would say just enjoy life. Just enjoy life. Just enjoy it right now. If you want to know what more about what now is, then you'll start to, dive deep into the use it, as a form of guidance, but no, that's just if you're talking about realms, that would probably be for me. That would feel more so like between 4D and 6D. Because for all you know, there could be more than 12 signs, there could be more than 13 signs. I'm just here to make your mind go off and expand, but still appreciate what's around you and right in front of you. The eagle's eye. So let's see here. Look at that. The Wheel of Fortune is at the bottom of the deck. Okay. What's the advice here? Follow your truth is all I'm hearing. Follow your truth for real. Especially when you're at a crossroads. Crossroads are beautiful. Crossroads are the most potent moments in your life. Why? Because this is at a point where you have to make a decision based on what your soul is telling you. Your soul contains your emotions, your willpower, your mind. Your spirit speaks more about your purpose. So you do a lot of the things that you do spiritually to align with your purpose. But once you know that purpose, you're not evolving into the lessons of the soul or living the life of the soul, living the life of your mind, living the life of your willpower, living the life of your emotions. Now, if you're living the life of your emotions, what's moving through you? Because that's I feel it just gave me the movie of a fine line between love and hate, a thin line between love and hate. Once you're fully on that path of aligning with your soul, you have the control that you're supposed to have of your emotions because that's moving through you. It's an energy of motion that's running through you based on what it is that you are observing and allowing your consciousness to take in. That when it downloads it to your subconscious, this is now where your soul starts to pick up a lot of what you have the willpower to do, your mindfulness and your emotions. There's Two of Wands is Mars and Aries at the bottom of the deck while this is coming out, which speaks of true strength in spite of adversity. The strength in spite of adversity for the Mars and Aries is looking at its world, the world that's in its hands. You hear a lot of people that will say, I'm going to leave it in God's hands. When you know that you are tapped into your Mars energy, your first house energy, the I am that I am, which is God, whose hands are you leaving it in now? Yours. Ashe. You're a creator. Every sentence or every statement that's coming out of your mouth contains water and a creation made out of that. And also a passion, a fire that comes from that, from air of thought that's coming from that. And you're manifesting in the reality when you express it. Taurus, throat chakra. Power of knowing thyself. What's in the environment here? The Eight of Swords. You know what this shows me? With this being in your environment, this is how others view you, because this is how they're viewing themselves, and they don't know how to control that. Because they don't have a connection to their throat chakra, their own expression. Everything that they express has something to do with what it is that's going on outside of them. meaning everything that's going on outside of them has more control over whatever it is and all that is, rather, that is flowing through them. But a lot of what's flowing through them has a lot to do with what's going on outside of them, because they haven't taken a moment to actually sit in silence or meditate. That's a problem when you hear somebody say they can't meditate, or they don't do it at all. That's so you never connect with your soul, because your soul is the medium in between your spirit and your body. So you never connected with your soul. This is what I got to pay attention to. But a lot of y'all still got people in your circle who don't even meditate. You think the shit is cool. Now in this age of Aquarius, you could have played around a little bit like that in the age of Pisces. I'll tell you now, you better know and be okay with whatever it is you got to disconnect from. Because all they gonna do is dry you up. You see them waters going, they vanish and they disappearing now. Some of your own actions was gonna allow these people to actually elevate. But until you take the step that you are guided to take, that's the most uncomfortable, you're gonna be detrimental to yourself as well as others. In the doubts and fears position, we have the Chariot, Cancerian energy. And that was the first card that we got out, was the fourth house, the roots of your being. What you have the capability to do is being reflected by your heart and your mind, your heart and your thoughts, because your mind is in your heart. Well, you have two minds. You have your subconscious mind and your conscious mind. There goes two hearts. The one below the throat chakra and the one above it. The crown and the heart chakra. Conscious mind, your crown chakra. Subconscious mind, your heart chakra. Everything you're feeding your mind with, or you're allowing to enter your space of thought, at some point has to download itself in a subconscious mind if you're allowing it to. So what are you allowing to download into your subconscious mind? Because your subconscious mind is going to put you in these positions where whenever you decide that you want to do something different, it's only going to pick up what you have downloaded. So if you have fuckery downloaded and you want to ascend and you want to expand, that's not what you have in your subconscious mind, though, because you've been consciously aware of the fuckery. There's a point where you can, get to where you've been wanting to go for some time, but when it's time for you to get to that next level that only you know, based on your mind's eye and your vision of what that is going to require you to have a different connection and a vibration flowing through your subconscious mind. That's the roots of it all. So some of you have to close out some cycles here with this Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I'm not sure what that was. Let's see. Some of you have mysteries of the cosmos, and this is why you have to do this. You're on a whole different playing field. You're on a whole different playing field. And if we're talking about mysteries of the cosmos, we're talking about emotional stories that are embedded within your physical being that has to do with the cosmos. We are in the age of the cosmos, the age of the stars. See, the age of Pisces was to bring in the mystics and the wisdom that was left behind during the age of Aries. But we're still operating from the shadow side of the age of Aries. Age of Pisces is one thing, but the The fact that we're still operating from the shadow side of the age of Aries and also the age of Pisces, here you have now war mixed with um, because you have gods from high and low vibrations, but you're working more so with gods of a lower vibration. Now, some of you have a capacity to indulge in both, to connect to both. I'm not going to say indulge, to connect to both, but you really want to be mindful of what it is that you're doing because it'll test the shit out your strength. Okay. So, ain't nothing to play with. Ain't nothing to be fearful about, but it damn sure ain't nothing that you want to sit here and be like, oh, I want to tap into this and I want to tap into that. That shit gonna tap your ass in a way that you've never been tapped before. Just saying. What's the outcome? Because there's a message coming in for a lot of you when it comes to whatever it is that you are in doubt of or in fear of. Let me clarify this message because let me get an animal spirit for this. What is this message connected to? See, for some of you, you may not even feel prepared to do what you've been guided to do next. This is a collective reading, so a lot of you are being guided to do different things. Make sure it's not to harm anyone else, because that is your ass. Make sure if you are tapped into a lot of spiritual abilities, make sure you're being wise about what you're doing. I'm not going to tell your ass again. Because the next time you told about that, if you already here, the next time you told about that, that's your ass. I'm just keeping it 100 with you on some real shit. I see too many different things in my spiritual realm, in my dream realm, where it's just like, I gotta be mindful of what y'all doing. Gotta be mindful of what you're doing, the tools that you're working with, and why you're doing it. Make sure you hear yourself from whatever it is that you got going on, because this ain't the age of Pisces where you can sit here and play around. No, it's not. Welcome, love. The dolphin. The fact that the dolphin is out here, this is connected to the direction of being able to use the powers of water within you, emotions. So for those of you who are connecting to this message, when it comes to your doubts and fears, you've gone through a lot of experiences that test the shit out of your doubts and fears, only for you to see your power when it comes to the element of water. There's different ways you can be tested about that element of water that flows through you. This could be verbally from other people, the way they express themselves to you, or the way you handle emotions that flow through you when an experience happens to you. This also speaks of unconditional love. This is not something that the world knows. If it did know it, if it did know it, there wouldn't be as many tarot readers and oracle readers. It would be called something different, I'm sure. It would look different. But you have oracle readers out here to get you to that point of yourself that you can't see, but this tool allows someone else to help you see, or you have the tools to help yourself see. For some of you, you have the tools to help you to see, but you're ignoring every fucking single sign that has come to you that connects you to unconditional love. You need to figure out why. And it's not something you got to figure out. You know why you block yourself from certain things. You just simply need to stop doing the shit. You just need to simply stop blocking yourself. I'm not going to be the one that sits here, well, yeah, there's a process to everything, but some of you are making the process longer than it needs to be. Longer than it needs to be. You got the dolphin and the phoenix at the bottom of the deck with that. Clarifying the chariot. The chariot is all about victory, success moving forward when it comes to the alignment of your thoughts in your heart. Victory and success when it comes to the alignment of your thoughts in your heart. Not someone else's thoughts or someone else's heart about what the fuck you should be doing. Because what they think you should be doing got nothing to do with what your soul knows you're supposed to be doing. Connect more to you, though. Connect way more to you. Again, this is why I say I don't read for everybody. You have to read that email to its entirety. Because I'm going to go off of your response. You see that spider there? The weaver of the universe. This ain't the time to be playing. My ancestors and spirit guides do not like to play. Some of you met me for a reason because you've been blocking yourself from certain things that you think the shit funny. It ain't the fuck funny. You're playing too much with yourself. That ain't hurting nobody else but you. And you giving people the time of day who are literally designed to trigger you, but you allow that trigger to manifest in a way that is more so irritating to you rather than you just moving or coming out the blocks. Because when that gun go off and that attract me, everybody know they better get their ass off that damn line or out them blocks and run that race and do whatever plan they had to do when they got in the blocks. You got the spider and the phoenix right here. For some of you, whatever it is that you created, this is giving me the energy of a past potential too. Some of you are around people who like to talk about their past a lot, but not in the way that they're healing from it. And energy is fluid. It's becoming you too. The more you hear it. Now we got the snake with the flower of life over here. Something's definitely changing in your physical environment because these are earth energies that are pulling through here. The tarantula. Wow. Fire and water. So, okay. The tarantula coming out is basically saying whatever you're supposed to be doing right now at this moment, it's like you have this spirit guide that's around you that's going to be constantly telling you, don't forget this, don't forget this, don't forget this, but you think you have time to be putting it on the back burner. Now, time, again, it is an art. But there's a specific art piece that you're supposed to create to get you to the other side or to get you onto your next path. That's who this message is for. The essence of time being now is more crucial than ever, especially when it has to do with doubts and fears. This could have to do with love, unconditional love. Let me see. Some of you have a fortress that you built around yourself that's blocking you from everything. Look at this shit. The moon comes out. What is the moon's energy? Here we got the Six of Wands, Jupiter, and Leo. The moon is connected to the Hermit. Yeah, this speaks of a lot of isolation. Plenty of isolation, because what these retrogrades are going to show you is what you have to separate yourself from, because there isn't reciprocity. Now, what you have to separate yourself from, if you're watching this channel, is because you a different type of being. That's just how I feel about it. You a different type of being. I don't connect to everybody because I'm not for everybody. So I can only speak to you or relay messages to you that I can connect with. Whether it fits in this illusionary state or my dream state. Okay. So you have to be very mindful as to what it is, the energy in motion within your body while Uranus is retrograde in the sign of Taurus, that's alerting you of everything that you have been internalizing from your external world, as the external world is going through their awakening. What is the awakening of? That the dream state is the real state of life. Now you'll see certain things that you may consider a nightmare. Well, it's a different type of alarm system that goes off in a dream state that would make you consider it a nightmare. It just gotten to a point where it's like, okay, now I'm going to scare your ass because you're ignoring what it is that you've been told with just rainbows and balloons. So now I'm going to scare your ass. At least what you perceive to be being scared. I'm going to show it to you that way. This new moon in Virgo is definitely going to bring a lot of clarity to you here, because that's what you got.